Welcome to Shibuya Crossing. Just landed in Tokyo about an hour ago, and today's challenge, $50 to survive 24 hours in the city, including hotel. But of course, beyond the hotel, we're gonna eat 3 meals, snacks, some activities, and of course, a souvenir or two. Typically when I get to Shibuya, I'll head right down there into Center Gai, but because of how beautiful a day it is today, I think the first thing we're gonna do is head to Yoyogi Park for activity number 1. Let's go. But first, hopping into Google, today's conversion from $50 is 7,296 yen. So we'll be subtracting from there throughout this video. Back to Tokyo, I crossed here from Shibuya Station, and instead of going into Center Gai, we'll head to the other side of the famous Tsutaya bookstore towards the entrance of the Seibu department store and wait at the bus stop for the absolute cutest bus on planet Earth, the blue Hachiko community bus. During the daytime, it comes every 15 minutes and we'll hop on this adorable bus and ride the 6 stops to the stop called Meiji Jingu Harajuku Eki. 100 yen for the bus fare. From that stop, we'll be at a juncture. The bus drops us off at the tourist entrance to Meiji Shrine and a few steps from the entrance to Yoyogi Park, and just take a look at Google Earth. It's amazing the sheer size of this greenery smack dab in the middle of some of the most congested urban sprawl in the world. Check it out. You can either head to Meiji Shrine, even seeing the sheer scale of the lead Torii gate heading into the trail is mesmerizing. The trail itself, it's really difficult to convey the coverage you get from these centuries-old trees. If it's your first time in Japan, I do think the 15-minute stroll to check out the shrine is absolutely worth it. But me personally, having been a bunch of times, Yoyogi Park is my own preference. So back from that bus stop, we'll head down this hill and we'll be at the entrance circle of Yoyogi Park. Before heading into the park though, we should find a konbini or a convenience store and get a drink to stay hydrated. For true hydration, water is of course the best, but there's this drink called Zero Cider Triple, specifically by 7-Eleven brand, that I'm obsessed with. I also like it because the bottle itself is that thick, more solid kind of plastic, so it's great to keep to refill with water throughout the day. Damage to our budget, 108 yen. Yoyogi Park is completely free, and like I said, the options are endless. Flower gardens, cycling paths, food trucks, and like the path to Meiji Shrine, you've got this insane tree coverage if you're a sweat factory like me and want endless shade for seating, but also patches of grass with ample benches and flat space if you want to soak up the sun. Regardless, especially if you also hit up Meiji Jingu as well, it's an easy 2 to 3 hours spent walking, relaxing, and people watching, which means, based on my timing, by the end of my exploration, we are approaching dinner time. For dinner though, to stick to as budget friendly as possible, we've got the 3 yas: Mitsuya, Sukiya, and Yoshinoya, all specializing in rice bowls, and I went with Mitsuya for this day's dinner. I was pretty hungry from all that walking through Yoyogi and back down, so I got one of their most expensive options. The beef bowl topped with extra cheese and extra beef, all ordered through their touchscreen that has English. Japan's really perfected the option to be antisocial with their wall-facing stools with head height partitions. Wait for your order number on the ticket to hop from the preparing side of the screen to the pickup side. Grab your tray and you are off to gorge. By the way, to many, this probably sounds so weird, right? Cheese on beef on rice. But all I can say is I thought it sounded weird as hell too, but it's so incredibly delicious. The dine-in set meal also comes with a yummy miso soup, and for drinks, there's this dispenser for unlimited free hot or cold water or tea. A great place to also top off that bottle we bought earlier too if we already finished. Regardless, as you can see, I polished off this expensive set meal because I opted for extra beef, not just for the extra protein, but because their beef is genuinely delicious. Add that to the ticker at 830 yen, and as the sun starts to dip, this is my favorite time to explore the Center Gai area of Shibuya. This area is a place where you can easily lose track of time, even for frequent visitors to Tokyo. You can walk through a pachinko parlor, explore the independent shops in the laneways, and of course, just take in the sights and sounds as the sun dips below the horizon and the crowds really start to pick up. By the way, I've created a custom Google map with all the locations in this video, and you can find that map link down in the description. In any case, with the sun set and a ton of exploration done, it's time to head over to our accommodations. And we'll walk back to Shibuya Station, hop on the Ginza line, and ride at the 4 stops to Akasaka Mitsuke Station. Because there's an activity close to that station I gotta wake up extra early for to beat the crowds. The subway ride, 178 yen. It's awesome to see that heading out of the subway station in a much less congested, less touristy area, you're still plopped in the middle of a bustling lane with loads of shops, restaurants, clubs, bars, karaoke, and other entertainment. But of course, it's time to go to the most expensive part of our 24 hours, our accommodations, and it is the miracle that is Kaikatsu Club. I'm definitely going to show you everything and witness the entire check-in and living process, but none of this would even be possible without packing very light, and packing light wouldn't be possible for me without this segment sponsor, Unbound Merino. Since 2016, when I first backed Unbound's crowdfunding campaign, my traveling life changed forever. As someone who, for over a decade, has spent at least 150 days a year abroad for work, being able to be a one-bag traveler has been the most liberating thing. The reason for this is because merino wool, especially high-quality superfine merino that Unbound uses, has every quality that makes it perfect for carry-on only travel, even for months on end. First, because of its naturally antimicrobial properties and ensuing incredible odor resistance, countless travelers literally wear the same outfit every single day for weeks on end without needing to wash and without offending people's noses. Second, specifically for packing light, superfine merino is so wrinkle resistant where most wrinkles vanish naturally from body heat within an hour of wearing, but also, even for deeper wrinkles, are gone within 15 minutes of just hanging up near a steamy shower. And finally, third, as such a frequent flyer sailing on at least 20 international flights per year, it literally saves me so much money because it enables carry-on only travel. No checked luggage fees needed. Best of all, Unbound Merino's been kind enough to let me share a discount off your first order with them, and you can find that secret coupon code down in the description below. Thank you so much to Unbound Merino for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now critically, pricing at kaikatsus are all different, depending on the area, so make sure you check online for each location's pricing and promotional board. But for this particular location, in my extensive experience staying in kaikatsu clubs, this one is middle of the road in terms of pricing. They also got this awesome 8-hour package, a deep discount as long as you check in at any time between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Up the stairs, using the automated machine to scan the membership card, select your room type and it prints out this QR code which you put into one of these clear holders connected to a lanyard, because that QR code is your room and access key. I was assigned room 307, so using that QR code key to scan unlocks the main entrance, and immediately we pass by the manga library and the complimentary drinks and soft serve ice cream stations. I always grab a bunch of blankets from the blanket shelf and I'll show you why soon, but first it's through the second floor rooms to the elevator and up to the third floor. Follow the signage and hey, there's my room, 307. Scan the QR code to unlock the door, and immediately upon opening the door, the space beneath the floor is where our shoes are stored. And once that's done, in we go. I just checked in as you saw, grabbed a few extra blankets, put my bags up top, and in fact, why don't I just turn the camera around so you can see the actual layout of the room. There's a top shelf that's plenty of space for both my travel backpack and my camera bag, and directly below is the computer desk where each room comes equipped with very fast internet. Under the sitting desk is the footwell for both sitting and lying down. By the way, for this 1-week trip to Japan, let's take a look at what I packed, especially because I'm testing a new backpack which is smaller than the one I typically use, and I can simultaneously show you more of the room. First, got that drink bottle we got before heading to Yoyogi Park. Next is my toiletries kit, and next up, my travel adapter. For this particular trip, I specifically brought this tape measure so I can measure this room. We'll do that very soon. I've got my small packing cube for my socks and underwear, and because I'm particular for sleepwear, I've got this pair of Nike shorts and a sleep-only t-shirt. For my extra outfit, I've got Unbound Merino's long sleeve Henley in their forest green, as well as their slim travel pants. Since I'm wearing the only other outfit I need, on my body, I have Unbound's compact travel hoodie as well as their polo shirt, both in navy, and their joggers. But back to the backpack, the last item in the main compartment is this ultralight, fast-drying towel. The reason I have this is because although this Kaikatsu Club location has free shower facilities, which of course I'll show you soon, they do not offer free towels. You bring your own, or you can buy towels at the front desk, and honestly, they're very reasonably priced, but because we're sticking to a tight budget for this 24-hour cycle, I brought my own. Next up, as a notebook weirdo, if you've been with me for a bit, you know for over a year, the one constant in my life has been this 5-year diary, and my streak is still going strong. Now, since this is primarily a work trip for my real job, I've got my MacBook Air, and then on the other side, I've got these 3 items. First is my cables pouch, which stores my power bank and a few charging cables. Then I've got this thin pouch where I have stuff for YouTube, so my memory card case, and SD card reader, and cable. And finally, for client meetings, although I typically bring my full-size Traveler's Company notebook and Lamy Safaris, for this trip, I've experimented with their passport-size notebook. And lastly, I've got my electric toothbrush. But that's it, and there's still a ton of space available in the bag for potential souvenirs. Regardless, since I've got to be up before 5 a.m. to beat the crowds in the morning, let's quickly head to the shower so you can see the facilities. Grab my toiletries kit, fast drying towel, my sleep outfit, and of course that QR code on a lanyard so I can unlock all the doors that I need to. Head back down the elevators to the second floor, then into the men's shower doors and pick one of the 3 shower stalls. I think I mentioned it earlier, but again, I cannot overstate how clean the facilities are. Now, each of the 3 shower stalls has 2 separate sections. The first section is the dry zone where there's a basket on the floor to place your belongings, as well as a few hooks, a bath mat on the floor for when you're done, and of course, a lock on the door. Next is the accordion doors for the shower stall itself, and inside there's complimentary shampoo and body wash, as well as a shelf to store your own stuff. All that's left is to get to scrubbing. Once done, there's a matching zone with 3 sinks, 3 hair dryers, and 3 stools to sit down and get the finishing touches done, after which we'll grab everything and head back to the room to hang up the clothes and towel to air out and dry as I sleep. Now, because there's still some moisture on my skin and I need to be completely dry before I go to sleep, and since we still haven't had any snacks in this 24-hour challenge yet, let's hit up 7-Eleven for a snack run and simultaneously get some fresh night air to help fully dry off. Something sweet, something savory, and something crunchy. Definitely no drink though, because as you saw, Kaiketsu Club's got unlimited free drinks. By cashing out, we can see a total of 478 yen for our snack run. I'm fully dry, so let's put that tape measure to use so you can have a clear idea of if you'll be able to sleep comfortably at Kaiketsu Club. First off, there's this folding seat, and not gonna lie, I kinda want one for my home in Toronto. But the very efficient use of space is that where your legs go when you sleep has a computer setup. And this folding chair has various clicking angles depending on your sitting preferences to use the computer comfortably. But to measure up and get ready for bed, I'll fold it up and put it on the top shelf with my bags. Starting with the width, we are just shy of 39 inches or just short of 1 meter. Lengthwise, making sure the end of the tape measure goes to the wall beneath the desk and marking up, we are at exactly 191 centimeters or just over 6 feet 3 inches. Now to set up for sleep, remember all those extra blankets I got? You may have noticed by now that the sleeping surface is a faux leather, but for me, I find that it makes me sweat and stick to it when sleeping. So I'll use 2 or 3 of those blankets and lift the sleeping pad to tuck them in an overlapped way to ensure I have a soft and dry sleeping surface. Again, gotta be up as early as possible, so I will set a few alarms, and as you can see, I also wrap the faux leather pillow with a blanket as well. Shut off the computer monitor and then dim the lights before passing out. And I gotta say, with this setup, at least for me, I am very comfortable. And with all that walking during the day, I'm passed out very quickly. Woke up with the first alarm, and yet another huge benefit of packing light means that packing up to leave at any moment is a breeze too. Oh, and one extra thing I forgot to show in what I packed is this tiny insulating bottle. This one's by Hydro Flask, called their Micro, but packing up, exiting the room, putting on my shoes, and heading down to checkout, I'll first go to that free drink station and fill up my Hydro Flask Micro with some hot black coffee, then fill up my empty bottle with some water. As we head to checkout, you can see it's just a quick scan of the QR code key, and since I checked in and out within that 8-hour special package, you can see a total of 2,700 yen for the accommodations portion. At around 5 AM, it's down the stairs for the 6-minute walk. I gotta say, this time of day, around 5 in the morning, is often the only time in metropolitan Tokyo where you can have true tranquility, and it was a lovely walk to the next activity. This right here is the foot of Hiei Shrine, and you may have seen people who travel to Kyoto or Osaka or other cities in Japan take these gorgeous photos in the endless rows of red Torii gates. But the unique part of these ones are, first, they're in metropolitan Tokyo, a little bit more rare. And second, they're up and down a straight and steep staircase for some cool perspective shots. But most importantly, at this hour, I was the only person here, so if having no one else interrupt your photo and an exploration walk is important, definitely come around 5 in the morning. The most rewarding part though is heading up the Torii frame stairs to the top and checking out Hiei Shrine. I mean, the grounds are so beautiful, and at about 5:30, a Shinto priest begins the opening procedures. After about an hour here, it's back down the Torii line staircase once again for a brief 15 minutes of chilling out, drinking water, and getting some of that still piping hot free wake-up juice into the system. It's another few minutes walk back to Akasaka Mitsuke Station, then another 4-stop ride back to Shibuya, because there's another activity a bit later I had to make a reservation for. 178 yen for the subway ride back. Since we're back in Shibuya before true rush hour, we gotta hit up a necessary store, especially for first-time visitors to Japan. But of course, before that, konbini or convenience store breakfast. We will hit up Lawson's. First, we'll play onigiri eeny meeny miny mo and randomly choose one of the onigiri rice balls. And then for me, as someone who typically does not enjoy egg salad, freaking love the egg salad sandwiches in Japan. I mean, even Anthony Bourdain was obsessed.
Every time I come back to Japan, one thing that still has an unholy grip on me.
Where are you? I know you're around here somewhere. Pillows of Love.
Egg salad from Lawson.
And so a grand total of 482 yen for breakfast. Finding a quiet seat, we can get to chow down, and these onigiri is a miracle of genius packaging. This one's filled with grilled salmon flakes, but as you can see on the wrapper, it's got step 1, 2, and 3. First, peel step 1 to unravel the central strip. Then pull 2 and 3, and the genius here is that the seaweed is kept between 2 layers of plastic to keep it dry and crispy on the store shelf. And only when tabs 2 and 3 are pulled out does the seaweed get released and marry with the soft rice. Biting in, that clean rice with the crispy saltiness of the seaweed is so pleasant. And of course, depending on which filling you chose, you get that joy in the middle as well. The sandwich, pull the tab and you're basically good to go. There's also something so delicious about all bread in Japan. And like I said, that egg salad filling is so creamy and so perfectly salted. Finish off that coffee and get a sip of water, and just about rounding 8 in the morning, it's time to go to that one store everyone's gotta visit at least once. Mega Don Quixote, or Mega Donki for short. This 8-story mega shop that sells everything you can possibly think of is open 24 hours a day. But for about 20 of those hours is just so packed that it's frustrating to even walk around. This is why I recommend visiting between 6 and 10 in the morning. Let's take the elevator up and start at the top floor where there's some last-second impulse souvenir shelves and a very big brain move by the store. Tons of affordable luggage options because so many tourists end up buying so much at Mega Donki they literally need another suitcase to bring everything back home. Genius product positioning. Either way, because of the sheer scale, I'm just gonna speed run down each floor. Heading down, floor 6 is the home electronics and small appliances, as well as stationery and some toys. Heading down, floor 5 has got probably the most toys, from Pokemon to Gundam to tons and tons of cars, but also it's where the adult toys are. It's also got non-electronic housewares and consumables. Heading further down to the 4th floor is probably my personal favorite as someone who loves all things everyday carry. I mean, there are sneakers and other exercise things, even protein powders, but tons of bags and slings like these pouches by North Face and this entire Carhartt bag section. Tons of wallets, satchels, and stuff like costumes and fun socks, but on the other side of the floor is their luxury section and their wristwatches section. From cult classic Casios like the F91W to tons of Seikos to pieces by Citizen and of course G-Shock. But even luxury pieces from Omega, Tudor, and even Rolex. For the ladies, there's also a ton of new and secondhand luxury purses from LV, Chanel, Gucci, Fendi, Goyard, all that jazz. Down to the 3rd floor is where it's all skincare and cosmetics. And of course, we'll speed run this as well. Down to floor 2, one side is personal hygiene like hair care, styling, and dental. But on the other side is the true money pit for so many tourists, because that's where Snack Central is. They've got entire dedicated zones for gummies, hard candies, and chips, but perhaps the biggest money pit are the insane curation of Pocky and Kit Kat flavors. I almost feel like a large percentage of products at Mega Donki are either lost leaders or just break-even products, while the snacks on the 2nd floor are where they truly make their money. Down to the 1st floor are a mishmash of their top sellers like this Jack Daniels and Coke Zero in a can, as well as great impulse buy items from every category from all the floors above. Even coming in the early morning where, as you saw, the crowds were very minimal inside and navigating was easy, one could still easily spend more than 2 hours just browsing everything. But okay, it's about 10 in the morning and after being cooped up indoors for so long, I want a bit of fresh air and relaxation. So it's about a 5-minute walk from Mega Donki to Miyashita Park. It's got 3 floors of shopping and dining, but the reason I like going here is because of the rooftop. A small, calm oasis smack dab in one of the busiest urban centers on planet Earth, and my favorite place to sit and relax in front of the bouldering wall. To take a load off and rest the legs for about a half hour before setting off on one of the most beautiful and interesting city center walks in the world. You see, across from the central entrance of Miyashita Park is this directional tree sculpture, which marks the start of Cat Street. Cat Street is a window shopping heaven. A truly lovely blend of retail, dining, and residential that's pedestrian-centric. And best of all, has 0 skyscrapers. So you can get a real calming open-air feel while the cornucopia of tremendous sites of brands, both international and small mom and pop, go all out with their displays. It's always a good idea to glance upwards and not just focus on street level. I mean, check out this upstairs shop called Atelier Hikari. Climbing up to the 2nd floor, there's this small shop that focuses entirely on blades for personal grooming. Handcrafted nail clippers and hair scissors meticulously made with that quintessential Japanese obsession with doing one thing perfectly and one thing alone. Behind the counter of the simple shop, you see true craftsmen at work, grinding, validating, and stoning blades. And what I loved seeing most was this: trays of scissors from barbers all around Tokyo that trust only them to perform their periodic sharpening. If there was an alternate universe where I was forced to choose just one single street to spend the rest of my life at, it'd be a non-decision. Cat Street would be the instant choice because again, despite being so bustling with so much to do, see, buy, eat, and drink, the cleanliness is always unrivaled and the quaint residential buildings are still so peaceful and respected by all who pass by. But for this 24-hour cycle, I made a reservation for an activity at 2 o'clock, and now, approaching 1 o'clock, my tummy's growling, so it's time to find lunch. And I decide to get this salmon set.
Thank you for your order.
Within minutes, the server brought this tray over, and as you can see, there's a small serving of veggies, a miso soup, a bowl of rice, and of course, the salmon. And for the rice, a package of nori, crispy salted seaweed. The food itself was all very good. Not excellent, nothing to write home about, but definitely delicious and very filling. I mean, what I really want to show you all about these set meal chain restaurants is mainly the price. I mean, wow. All of that for just 600 yen, or just $4 US. On another day in my week in Japan, I just strolled into this conveyor sushi spot and ordered their kids meal. Each seat is numbered, and as you can see, I was assigned 69. Nice. And just like Sukiya, you order on your own tablet. And once your order is ready, the conveyor system knows exactly where your seat is, and this kids meal boxed as a bullet train shot down the rail and stopped right at my seat. Awesome. Unboxing it, there's 5 types of sushi on tray 1, and in tray 2, there's a small carton of apple juice, 2 jello shots, and some egg and meat. And lastly, there's even a toy, which in and of itself can serve as a free souvenir. It was just 650 yen. Anyways, with just over an hour before this 24-hour experiment ends, let's head over near the northeast corner of Cat Street and Omotesando Road for the last activity. Check it out. This yellow building tucked in this alley is called AP Lab. Audemars Piguet is one of the big 3 Swiss watch brands, and they've created this experiential place for watch lovers. By heading in, the first floor is a series of games that share the history of the brand and manufacturing process of their timepieces. But after that is the funnest part. Heading to the second floor, then putting on an official AP watchmaker's coat, then receiving a brass ring to experiment with the real tools AP artisans use for movement and case finishing. A cool rotating press to achieve that lovely overlapping circular perlage effect seen inside the movements within their watches. Then flipping the ring over and using the sandpaper and maximum even pressure with moderate speed to get that lovely brush-like finishing. And finally, a pneumatic rapidly reciprocating punch and as steady a hand as possible to achieve that beautiful frosted finish seen on the cases of some of their models. Total cost 0 yen, and we get to walk away with this ring they affix onto a string to wear around your neck, as well as this sticker set too. Great souvenirs in and of themselves. Given that this AP Lab reservation ended at 3 p.m., exactly 24 hours since I crossed Shibuya crossing a day earlier. So let's do a tabulation for a grand total spend of 5,654 yen, or about $39 US, which means we still have 1,642 yen left over for souvenir shopping. Of course, you could also try your luck with claw machines, and I snagged this low-hanging fruit vinyl bunny on my first try, with each try costing 100 yen. I went back to a kombini and got this pack of tough gummies. Ridiculously resistant and chewy with a dusting of a sour outer and sweet chewiness throughout. Oh, and speaking of food, I don't think I showed you the snacks I bought for my snack run at 7-Eleven when I stayed, since of course food is absolutely a great souvenir too. Okay, we'll start with the weirdest sounding one, and it's Japan's 7-Eleven brand's own cheese and cod strips. Sounds odd, right? But my goodness is it awesome. Check it out. Surrounding these delightfully creamy strips of cheese are an impossibly thin layer on each side of dried codfish, and no, they don't smell fishy at all. I can't exactly describe the amazing texture and flavor, but that satisfyingly creamy inner flanked by just the slightest resistant bite of that cod is so pleasing to the bite. Next up, this pack of seasoned cracker-encased nuts. The crunch is absolutely insane, and each of the 4 types of seasoned crackers have the perfect amount of saltiness. And finally, the sweet. I think many folks are familiar with Haichu, which typically come in these packs with the soft chewy candies themselves being rectangular. But these Haichu premiums are on a whole other level. These small spheres of pure joy are indescribably soft, creamy, and sweetened with restraint. Word to the wise though, they're available in this Calpico milky flavor as well as the green grape and purple grape flavors. And in my opinion, both grape flavors are horrible. This video has been all to share that Tokyo can be an extremely budget-friendly travel city, way more affordable than most would ever imagine. But no matter what your budget is, if you're planning your first trip to Tokyo and will be landing at Narita Airport, you will definitely want to watch this video right up here. If however you'll be landing at Haneda Airport, this video down here is the one for you. If you're feeling lucky though, this video up here has got you covered. I'll leave them on screen for a few seconds so you can choose which one to watch next, but while you're deciding, consider subscribing and hitting that bell so you'll be notified the moment new videos just like this one drop.